Welcome to the City Show Radio. Pat O'Melia here on GGR via Live 365. As I keep telling you, tell your friends. Download the Live 365 app. You have all our programming there. You have a lot of other programming, much more programming, all sorts of music on Live 365. And tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we're scheduled to have the first Jersey City Public Safety Town Hall. James Shea, I don't know who else is going to be with them. They'll be doing a 1-hour live radio show concerning public safety. That'll be the police department, that's the fire department, that's parking enforcement, that's crossing guards. I know I'm forgetting a few. There's a lot under 911 is under public safety. A lot going on in public safety. So they'll be here tomorrow. They'll be live. They'll be taking calls on our line here, 855-999-0799. I'll open the phone lines at around 2:30. Again, write it down. 855-999-0799. And you have any questions? I hope they bring somebody from parking enforcement. But that will be the whole show. I may just need an hour just for phone calls with those guys. But mark the date tomorrow at 3 p.m. right here on GGR. It will be the Jersey City Department of Public Safety Town Hall. You are more than welcome to join in. We're probably going to do one a week somewhere with the JCMUA. Just did a town hall. That's on the GGR YouTube podcast, whatever the thing is. GGR on YouTube. And we'll be putting these out now with the Live 365. I think they're on Twitter. They're on Instagram. There's a lot of places to get the show. And somewhere along the line, we'll be putting our shows up on Spotify. So there's a lot of bites of the apple there. But I really like doing the live stuff, which James Shea and Public Safety will be doing live tomorrow. When we come back from the commercial, we got a bunch of things to talk about. It's a busy show. So let's take our first break. You're listening to the City Show here on GGR. I'll be right back.
And here, RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
We're back. You're listening to City Show Radio here on GGR. I'm Pat O'Melia. Interesting week. As I said, it's going to be a busy show. I broke my smartphone. I've had my smartphone, my Android Galaxy Note 6, 4 years, something like that. It was a good phone. And it had a good case. But the problem was, one day I was in the garage. I was working down at my kid's house. We were working in the yard, even with the bad knees. I was kind of more supervising than working. And I had the phone open on my knee. And I was talking to my wife, and I reached for something, and I knocked the phone over. Phone hits the threshold of the bay doors, and there's a rubber seal there to keep the water from coming in when it's raining. So I looked down and said, even though the case was open, it hit the rubber seal. Son of a, cracked the glass. I'm looking at it, and it's like a perfect straight line across it. So this isn't too bad. It would be catastrophic in a week or so. Little by little, it was starting to have more problems. So at a point, I couldn't, unless I was really pushing buttons constantly, I couldn't get the thing to screen the light up. So I eventually had to realize I was going to get the glass replaced on Central Avenue, too, $170. Good thing I didn't do that, because when I did finally get a new phone and transfer, the guy at Verizon store said there's something mechanically wrong in here also. I said, well, I'll just save myself $170 on glass. But I bought another phone, remanufactured on Amazon, another Android, $150. And nice phone, but I tell you, it's like learning a new language to get a new phone. Even though it's another Android and there's lineage, but my Galaxy Note was like 6 or 7 years old. This phone here is like 3 years old. It was trend. Technology moved forward. It doesn't work the same. So you got to learn how to work the new phone. For that matter, I just figured out how to pair my phone with my Alexas in my cars. If you don't have an Alexa in your car, you should. You can't beat that. Give you all the information you want, traffic, take you wherever you want to go, listen to music, whatever you want to do. So I got the two phones, and I know I'm going to bring it to the Verizon store to get the data transferred over. So I go to the Verizon store. We were down in Seaside at the kids' house. I went to Tom's River. There's one there right on 166. It seems every time I do my phone, I'm down at Tom's River somehow. So I've been at this Verizon store before. The mobile hotspot we got for our high school program, I got at the Tom's River at Verizon. Kevin in there puts the phones together, does some magic there. I don't know, just some Swami stuff over the phones, and the data starts transferring. Very slowly it starts running. Yeah, it took like an hour or so to transfer, and you had to keep refreshing the displays because if it went dim, it would stop. That was my job. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I hope this is like my computers when my computer updates. Like it takes forever to get to like 80% or 70%, and all of a sudden it's like boop, 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 gets to 100. Well, I got to 80% on the data transfer, and then it went boop, 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 got it done. And then guy looks at him and goes, you might be interested in this liquid protection we put on the glass. And says, I use it on my phones. It saved me many times. And you put it costs like $60, by the way. You put it on there. It's like a waterfall. It goes down there. Then you smooth it around. Then you put it in an oven, and it bakes it on the glass. Being as careless as I am, with the reason I don't have hats or umbrellas or gloves, because I lose everything. I'm careless. I got the phone. I dropped the phone. So I get the protection on the glass, $60. All said and done, I spent like $114 getting all this transferred. Yeah, that's all I've been doing is spending money all week. A good thing I did because the phone is almost the exact same. The new phone is almost the exact same size as my old phone. Problem is, it's like a millimeter off, so it doesn't fit perfectly in my case, and the camera lenses are in a different spot. So I had to order a new phone case. So I'm getting the same one. This is a good protector. That's coming today. I really wanted it yesterday, and according to Alexa, it was coming yesterday until last minute. So the thing is now, I got to learn how to work this phone. I got to work, it has so many buzzes on there. I just want a regular, notification tell me I got a text or a phone call or something. I had to set all that up. I'm not the guy. That's why I had the young guys in here do the technology stuff. I'm the dreamer guy. So I strongly recommend you get a good phone case and don't leave it open on your knee or you'll be learning a new language like I am right now. But I'm making headway. Like I said, I got the auto Alexas working in the Oldsmobile and in my van. So I just got another 5 cars to go. Yes, I have a ridiculous amount of cars, but all my cars have a job. I rotated. I got cars at the studio. I got cars at Jersey City. I got cars at the kids' house in Seaside Heights, and they move all around. Every car has a job. The 4-wheel has a job. The big Lincoln has a job. The big van has a job. We're adding another van for the high school program. So a ridiculous amount of cars. For that matter, the guy at Juan's Auto Repair on North Bergen on Patterson Plank Road by the Basics, he actually thought I was a car dealer. I said, no, I'm just an idiot that I had this many cars. And Juan and Junior, one of the guys that worked at Junior, looks at him, what are you talking about? You got 5 cars yourself? Why would you have 5 cars? At least and they had multiple locations. And if my car, I just had a problem with the Oldsmobile, the right wheel locked up last Tuesday. It locked up. I had to get it towed to Juan's. That's why we didn't do a show Tuesday. I was busy giving AAA told me. And they did a great job, the AAA guy, good driver. And AAA, because they were so good, they just debited my account for my yearly renewal. I hate debits. You can't remember all these debit things. All of a sudden, you look, you're out like $358. That's a lot of money. But you can't argue with the AAA. You always want to have another car around in case your car's broken down. You're not stranded. And fortunately, I got cars at Jersey City House. I got cars at the North Bergen studio. I got cars in. Usually, I'm somewhere near another car. So if you can do it, it helps to have a backup car. And if you move around a lot like I do, good to have 5 or 6 backup cars. They come in handy. Let's get to business here. Let me knock this off my notes here. Again, you're listening to the City Show here, City Show Radio on GGR. Tell your friends to download the app. There's a lot you can listen to. New Jersey transit strike is over. I don't know how you can tell their service is so bad. Can you really tell they're not running? Yeah, when you talk, New Jersey Transit is a cesspool of red ink. They swim in it. They do backstrokes in it because they don't care because they can dig into your pocket and get more money. Why? The buses, the trains, they're all subsidized about 80% of the ticket price. You're paying that 80% subsidy. So that person could get like a cheap ride. Meanwhile, you're paying your gas, you're paying your car insurance, nobody's giving you a cheap ride. But I noticed this morning that the gas prices went up. I don't know what happened. Is there a hurricane somewhere? Did Trump put tariffs on gas? I don't know what happened. Something went up. I noticed the gas prices. I don't use regular. I use high test, but you always see the regular price. It was $3.14 at that quick check. And it was just like $2.89 day before. I don't know what happened there. But think about that. You have the rail strike affected 200,000 riders. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? 200,000. Now you realize New Jersey has a population of, I think, about 9.5 million people. So 200,000 isn't a lot. We're going to spend a spook-kook amount of money for these engineers. Now, they're probably worth it. There's other problems besides the engineers' pay in New Jersey Transit. The engineers and the salaries, I don't believe, are the problem. We're going to pay through the nose on it. And they'd say, well, there'll be no rate increase, no fare increases. But they don't have to raise the fares. They'll just dig into your pocket. They'll tax you again. The candidates, one of mine, Steve Phillips, running for governor. Again, it's not a one issue. That's for that notes later in the show. There are a lot of issues facing New Jersey. You're not going to find one candidate that fits all your issues. So you got to pick and choose. It's Jersey. Nobody gets a whole loaf of bread. Steve is another guy, Mayor Phillips. Let's have the transportation, the corporate business tax, and the transportation fee to fund New Jersey Transit. Let the riders on New Jersey Transit pay the right fare. How can we have a consistent source of revenue for New Jersey Transit? It's called the fares. Let that person ride in the bus or the train or the light rail and the ferries. The ferries are also subsidized 80%. Let them pay the full price. Why am I paying for it? Why are you paying for it? Why are people who don't use this service paying for this? You think, well, they need mass transit in the major cities. Everybody looks at mass transit. They keep looking at New York. The whole hub to New York's mass transit is they have a subway system. They have subways running all over New York City. We don't have that. All our transit is above ground. Yeah, so you're talking about, you cut down on pollution. From a guy that was in transportation before I got into media and politics, the vehicles they're running today are nowhere near as polluting as my youth. When you see the diesel trucks with the black smoke coming out all the time, like my antique cars, like my 64 Dodge, there was no pollution at all on that. It was like, there's X's, crossbones should have came out of the exhaust pipe back then. Today's cars, they run very clean. But I mean, you see trucks that are certified idle clean. When they're idling clean. It isn't like, that's why we keep talking about energy. I can't have the coal burning and natural gas. Natural gas and coal burning are running pretty clean now. Again, it's not like we're in the 50s, but a lot of the critics are always in the 50s. New Jersey Transit. Yeah, I want to get Mayor Fulop in for a radio interview, whether in the studio or on the radio, on the phone. We could do it anyway on radio. It doesn't make a difference. I want to talk to him about some of the issues. New Jersey Transit is one of them. And he's a big believer in this New Jersey Transit, Steve Fulop. I just want him to explain to me why. What do you see that makes you think you can have faith in this organization to go forward with our money? And it's a cesspool of it. But I'm thinking, go through this for 200,000 riders. Is it really worth it? And why are we subsidizing? Yeah, Jersey is expensive enough. We keep talking about, we got things make affordable. But then we keep throwing good money after bad. And then Jersey Transit, it's the epitome of throwing good money after bad. They should have it in the dictionary. You get online, Google, good money after bad. New Jersey Transit will pop up. That's how poorly I would almost say the MTA in New York runs better than New Jersey Transit, whether it's the light rail, whether it's the buses, whether it's the trains, whatever the hell they have. Whatever they're running, don't run well. But they settled a strike. We don't know what the settlement is. Yeah, they were looking, the engineers were looking for like a $10 an hour raise. That's a hell of a raise. they'll probably get it because Murphy's on his way out. There'll be a new mayor, a new governor will have to shoulder the burden of this, and you're going to pay for it. Simple as that. I don't see any fare increases coming. Of course not. They're going to dig into your pocket. Mainly, they're going to dig into business profit. Mom and pop, small businesses, hit them again, tax them retroactively. That'll happen. I guess you guys seen with Biden. Unfortunately, Biden has prostate cancer. It's stage 4. It has spread to other parts of his body, his bones. I wish him well. I hope he lives a long, comfortable life. It really goes to show you how much we were deceived and lied to by the White House during the Biden years. There's definitely he was losing his fastball. Yeah, it was some mental issues. He didn't have the stamina to go a whole day. You've seen it in clips where people actually were saying that's a deep fake. That's not a real film clip. Turns out they were. The debate with Trump that time, we've seen him misidentify people, misidentify where he was, stumble around. Yeah, and everybody just said, no, there's nothing wrong. His mind is fine. His mind wasn't fine. Also, might have been even being treated for cancer. Listen, you're the president of the United States. You got the best doctors in the world around you. Yeah, if there's anything wrong with you, they're going to find out. You're going to get the best treatment. But the treatment is no different for the president or the average Joe. And he is probably going through the radiation, possibly chemo, stem cells, all those kind of things. And that probably also caused a problem for his concentration. It just shows you how we were lied to by everybody in the White House, from the vice president to chiefs of staff to the media that covered him. Now, you got media that covers him. Yeah, the media was complicit during FDR with the wheelchair. We didn't want to show weakness. We were in war. We wanted to make sure we had a good leader. But, yeah, he may have rolled around on a wheelchair, but his mind was sharp. That wasn't the case. Who was running the country? Who was calling the shots? Some people are saying his wife was Jill, who was a smart woman. She qualified to run a country. I don't know. Who was calling the shots? But the main thing is you were lied to all the time. Biden lost his fastball during the first campaign. That's why he stayed in the basement. You were lied. Your media. I grew up in the days of Cronkite, Roger Grimsley, Bill Butel, all those great journalists. And by the way, you have to go to school. You have to pay your dues to say you're a journalist. Just can't say, I'm a journalist. Got a lot of YouTubers saying, I'm a journalist. No, you're not. But our main media, they knew what was going on. They lied to us constantly. They knew Biden had lost it. And they lied and lied and lied. It got so bad that the lying and the evidence was in front of us that it made Trump look good. And Trump walked away with the election. Our media and our government lied to us concerning Biden. From Harris to Barack Obama, everybody in the White House. The only guy, I guess, who told the truth, and I jokingly tweeted this to Mayor Fulop, was when George Clooney turned on Biden and said, we got to find another candidate. And I texted Steve Fulop and said, that's it for Biden. He's done. Clooney turned on him. Clooney was the only one who was honest. He was at a fundraiser, supposedly, didn't even recognize George Clooney. And it's sad. They should have just let Biden run again, and Harris probably could have became the president. She could have became president without running because there was no way Biden was doing another 4 years. But the main thing, I can understand Biden and the family not want to let us on, but our government and our media should have been able to tell us. They should have told us, but they didn't. They lied and lied and lied. That's why you got Trump. Now we got to make sure Trump is successful. But when you're looking at CNN, MSNBC, I watch ABC all the time. I watch CBS News, MSNBC. I can't watch them anymore. I know all of these lies. Now they're all coming up with excuses. Well, I really didn't know. I wasn't an expert. Yeah, you know. Now, I've been around enough people. If somebody's got a mental issue, I'll be able to spot it. All right, let's break for commercial. You're listening to City Show Radio here on GGR. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high rise towers. With amenities such as the on site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, J.C. Penney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
We're back. City Show Radio here on GGR, California. Again, we got a new governor coming, and he or she is going to Trenton, and he's going to open up those desks like I talk about opening the desk drawers in the mayor's office. You open up desk drawers in the governor's office. It's a mean demon's going to be coming out of there. California. Now, one of the problems we're having with Medicaid, there's a lot of fraud. If you ever got a bill, if you're on Medicare, if you ever got a bill, you have to question some of the pricing that you see on these things. You know, have you bought aspirin? Have you? Don't buy them at the hospital. But there's ridiculous prices. There's a lot of fraud, overcharging, and there's a lot of people on Medicaid who shouldn't be. If you're an able-bodied person, I'm going to say guy, if you're an able-bodied guy, you shouldn't be on Medicare. You should be out working. You know, Clinton, when he was the president, he put the riders in there with welfare. If you were going to collect welfare and you're able-bodied, you're going to have to work. California, they have what they call, their Medicare is called Medi-Cal. It's taking California broke to the tune of about $12 billion. A third of the population of California is on Medi-Cal. That seems to be quite a bit. Now, again, most of your seniors are on Medicare. So this is people with low income, no income. In California, legal immigrants, undocumented, the population is large there. California just had to borrow almost $2 billion to make ends meet, and they got a $12 billion budget hole. And the reason they got a $12 billion budget hole is Medi-Cal. Is Jersey going the same direction? Is that happening here? I don't know. We don't have those numbers. But I did ask an assembly person yesterday. I said, is it possible? I said, it's possible to the tune of about the $7 to $8 billion that Jersey is spending on Medicaid. So that's where you need the Doge. Now, if you have able-bodied people on Medicaid, you know, they should be working. If not, they should be working with the municipalities they live in. Yeah, if you're getting Medicaid, yeah, you can work part-time at the Jersey City DPW. You can be painting curves, whatever the case is. If you're undocumented or illegal alien, I don't know if you should get this. I don't believe you should be getting Medicaid. But that's for people with higher pay grades than me. But when if we're really looking at $7 to $8 billion for people who shouldn't be on Medicaid, now you have to look at your school funding, where school funding has gone, crazy here. We got schools selling properties, headquarters, schools, laying off teachers, cutting all the sports program. What if I had that $7 or $8 billion to put towards the schools, and the kids can get an education? They can play football, baseball. They can have the music departments. Our priorities are in the wrong place. Again, I don't mind helping anybody, and we should be a country that helps people get back on their feet. We don't have to give you a living. We help you get back on your feet. Now, if you're able-bodied, yeah, the municipalities can use the help, painting the curbs, sweeping the sidewalk, whatever the case is. But is Jersey right behind California? I don't know. I suppose we'll find out soon enough when we get some new blood in the Trenton there. It'll be an interesting election. Yeah, there was another poll that came out. Now, let me wait till I get to that before I jump. Don't I have the governor stuff in here? Yes, I do. Next page. NJCU and Kane, they have signed a letter of intent, a memorandum of understanding for the merger. It will take about 2 years. This is a terrible merger. This shotgun merger is one of the worst things that can happen to Hudson County with NJCU. It'll lose its identity. We will lose a college here, a university in this case. That university has been there. Originally, it was the normal school. If you go into the main building, there's a plaque, the normal school. Then it became State Teachers College, and after that, New Jersey City University. It always had its identity. It was always a successful college or university until bad management came in. Well, look at you, Sue Henderson. For that matter, the NJCU, it looks like they're going to get out from under a lease in Monmouth County. They got another tenant for the facility there that they closed. For that matter, my engineer said that Monmouth County facility was there a long time. It looks like they only signed it in 2020. And it signed like a 35-year lease. So NJCU was on the hook for like another 30 years or so. Looks like there's another tenant who's going to take over the facility. So Andy Acebo will be out from under that lease. He'll be very happy to know. For that matter, that story was in the Asbury Park Press this morning about the new tenant. I sent it over to Andy. Not that he didn't know it, but I figured to let you know that there's a story out about it. They had another facility that the Hendersons, wasn't that a television show on the Harry and the Hendersons? Wasn't there like a Chewbacca or was it a Bigfoot or something like that? It was something like that. Yeah, there was somebody they also expanded into the waterfront of Jersey City. Can you find a more effing expensive place in Jersey City to open up a school? Yes, let's put it on the waterfront. It'll be nice. We can look at New York, and we're paying money through our teeth there. There's other sections of Jersey City. Now, Jersey City is expensive pretty much all around, but not as expensive down there. So he's got a lease down there that he's trying to find another tenant that will help the university. But this merger, if we give Andy Acebo, Union City kid, born and raised Union City, educated Union City, you give him 2 years, possibly 3, he will right that ship, and we will still have a university catering to the residents of Hudson County. Why don't we want, if it becomes Kane of Jersey City, eventually the Jersey City disappears. We won't have the same campus there. We won't have the same education. We won't have the same opportunity for people here in Jersey City, Hudson County, of meager means, or what do you want to say, low income, middle income. But education is expensive. For a lot of people, you got to make a choice. Do I want to go to Votech? Do I want to learn a trade? You know, I went to Votech to learn how to weld. One time I was a mechanic. There are some people, there's good money in electrician, plumber. Everybody should know a plumber. You got a good plumber, you're in good shape. Well, I ain't doing an electrician. I got both. I'm fortunate to have a good plumber and an electrician. Yeah, not everybody has to do that. Not everybody needs an education. When I started on radio, when I started on WEVD, then I went over to NJR, then to WJDM, then back to NJR. Didn't know they moved to New York when I went back to NJR. They didn't tell me that until after I signed the contract. So I went to the studio. I can't nobody here in the studio. Oh, we didn't tell you? We're in New York City now. We're on West Broadway. They rush over there, go to the Holland Tunnel. I used to deliver trailers at night to pay for my radio show. I was on Mondays and Wednesdays. I had some advertisers who still needed more money at night, delivering trailers for Bed Bath & Beyond over to New York City. Right at the same time of 9/11. Remember, it took forever to deliver trailers in New York City because they were checking everything, except for garbage trucks. I'll be talking to the state troopers and the military. You should really look at that garbage truck over there. I know you don't want to open that up because it's full of garbage, but it could be full of explosives too. But yeah, that's how I paid. Then I got into radio, and that brought me into television. That brought me into the political media world. Not everybody needs to go to college, but those who do, you need a university or college that is affordable and close to home. And that's what NJCU has done. And it's done it for, I think the school's been there at least 100 years, maybe 120 years. We're going to lose that. So again, I hopefully when we have a new governor, maybe Governor Fulop, who's got a better handle on things. Governor Fulop steps in there, because I don't know if Kane College is going to work with A. Harry Moore. Maybe not. And there's a lot of kids that depend on NJCU and Andy Acebo's commitment to A. Harry Moore. These things have to be looked at. And, we're not talking mega money here. Yeah, in the big picture of things. When we're talking like $15 million, $20 million in the state of New Jersey, peanuts. I think our budget here was like $60 billion. Now, I said we may have just had $7, $8 billion on people who shouldn't be on Medicaid. We could have taken care of NJCU's problem and all the school problems there. I'm very much against this merger. And for that matter, NJCU, they'll be doing a weekly show here, promoting the college, giving the kids an opportunity to figure out what kind of classes they want, how much they can afford. Is NJCU the best opportunity for you? Should it be another college, Rutgers, Ramapo? For that matter, it's got one of my first emails back where I teach high school kids. We're going to do Best and Brightest, where North Bergen High School seniors who received scholarships, we're going to bring some of those kids in, interview them, find out how the high school years went and why they chose these colleges. A couple of those kids we kind of helped out here in the studio a little bit. But this getting back, we give Andy Acebo and his administration 2, maybe 3 years. I guarantee you, he rights the ship. All right, before I get into the governor's race, let's take a commercial break. You're listening to City Show Radio here on GGR. Be right back.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
We're back. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City on Kennedy Boulevard, my buddy Nelson. I'm looking at the carpet work he did in the studio right now. It's like I don't know how many square feet a lot of square feet of carpeting here. I'd say that's probably about 2,000 square feet of carpeting in here in the studio, maybe more. He did that. He did my old studio, did my house, did my friend's house. Did a lot of carpets for me over the years. Did hardwood floors. He does a lot. Does tiles, hardwood floors, of course, carpets. My man Nelson, Consumer Carpets, right there on Kennedy Boulevard. I used to say across from Tippy's, but Tippy's is gone. Right up there by Bauer Street. New Jersey City, anyway, Consumer Carpets is. The governor's race. Now, as I was saying before, this race isn't about one issue. There's a lot of issues in New Jersey. People, they're very active in their issue that concerns them. The biggest one, of course, in New Jersey is property taxes, which is through that property taxes / school funding. They go hand in hand. People are very enthusiastic about some issues. You got to find a candidate that fits most of your issues. For that matter, let me say, we're going to open up the phone lines. Phone lines are now open. Bing, 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 bing. 855-999-0799. That's 855-999-0799. Phone lines are now open. The governor's race, New Jersey Transit's an issue. Property taxes / school funding is an issue. Crime, immigration is an issue. Small business, attracting business. Maybe if we didn't have people on Medicaid, maybe they'll work. So you see a lot of for help signs. And maybe we're biting ourselves on the butt with that. Because I'm probably the last generation of people that weren't college material. I didn't raise my kids to be a mechanic like I used to be. Nobody's raising their kids to pump the gasoline. Nobody's raising their kids to work at the bodega. Again, some of those jobs are pretty well paying, especially if you get to own that bodega. My kids have double degrees, one's a PhD. You want your children to do better than you are. But during my generation, we had a bunch of, it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy. We had a bunch of morons that we took jobs wherever you want. I'd walk out of my house. There was a trailer repair shop a couple of blocks away. I was a trailer repair mechanic. And that was my main job. And for whatever reason, I kept getting promoted. I was a mechanic, then I was a foreman, then I was a manager, and I was so good. The Transmeric company came. They hired me to be their manager. And I was so good that people threw money at me to go into business for myself. I was probably the last generation where we could make a living and raise a family without degrees, without a college education, by working with your hands, driving trucks, welding, repairing the trailers like I did. All those things you learned as you became a trailer mechanic. There's a lot involved. Sheet metal work, we did all that. Now, if you want to make it, you got to have a good trade. Like I was saying before, electrician, a plumber, or if you get the degrees, you get the good paying jobs. Especially if you're in Jersey, you need a good paying job. So funding and making affordability here in New Jersey is a real issue, and property taxes, the school funding, Medicaid, creating business opportunities, jobs. One of the things that Trump, I know people, they go nuts, especially because I'm in Hudson County here with Trump. I remind you all, we need this guy, Trump, President Donald Tariff Trump, to be as successful as we can get him to be. And, things look like, you always say a blind squirrel finds an acorn every so often. Well, this guy keeps finding acorns. It looks like he's got China in place. The UK is in place, tariff-wise. That may work out. Like I said earlier, I'll ride a year with this guy. But here we have situations in New Jersey, and you're going to pick an issue for this governor's race, whether it's taxes, and I think that's the big thing, property taxes, could be crime, could be immigration, opportunities, senior living, all these things. Everything comes down to taxes. But yeah, I'm looking at school funding, and I reported on this a couple of weeks ago that in Jersey City, $38,000 a year to educate a kid, and I think Tom's River came out to $20,000. But I was just talking to some Tom's River people that said it's closer to 18 and 19,000. But whatever the case is, we're twice as much in Jersey City as Tom's River. And when you look at it, you take Jersey City, and I'm going to look at the numbers we've got here. We have a budget of $1 billion. I think it's $1,027,000,000, is it? Something like that. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I have some math I did. I'm figuring the Jersey City Board of Education employs about 2,200 teachers. And I'm going to take those teachers at about $75,000 a year. Now, there'll be some higher than that when longevity, and if you have degrees, if you have a PhD, there's a bumper in there. You get more money if you have a PhD. If I take that 2,200 teachers times $75,000 a year, that comes out to $165 million. A lot of money. You have a budget of $1 billion, $2 million, something of that nature. Where is the rest of the money? I've said many a time, I'll take the teachers' salaries off the table, untouchable. I might even throw a raise in there. Where is the rest of this $1 billion, $2 million budget if my teacher salary is at $165 million? Now, there's not a tax bill for Jersey City Board of Education. They don't pay taxes. They don't pay rent. I don't have payroll taxes involved in this number. That's a real number. Insurances, I'm sure that's a big number. But is it like $900,000? No. $800,000, whatever it is? No. We need, as a state, to take a deep dive into what it is costing to fund and operate the school systems here in New Jersey. We have 565 school districts that have all sorts of salaries attached to them. Salaries, benefits, vacations, pensions, all that's involved in 565 school districts. We don't need that many. I think one of the candidates, we're talking about county districts. I've said that before. We got 21 counties. Let's have 21 school districts. We don't need as many personnel as we have because we have 565 school districts. We got to find out why Tom's River can educate kids for about half the price of Jersey City. And, they're in real school buildings. They're not tents. They're not open air in the park. They're not teaching in the back of a van somewhere. They have real schools. They got real elementary school. They got real high schools. They have sports. They have music department. They got everything we have here. These kids get educated. They go on to college and university. at the ones that elect to. Some of them go to Votex. Some of them are in a trade, whatever the case is. Why, if an hour away, it's 50% less? We have to take a deep dive into school funding in Jersey. There should be no difference on how much it costs to educate a kid from Tom's River to Jersey City, or Egg Harbor to Jersey City, or Egg Harbor to Sussex. There should be no difference. The teachers are all making pretty much the same salary. Again, longevity and degrees. What happens the rest of the way here? What goes on with these budgets? Now, again, I'm more in tune with Jersey City. Yeah, $1 million, $2 million budget here, and I just figured out I got $165 million in teachers' salary. Where the hell is the rest of it? That's why you need to put all that on the table and sort through what do we need. Now, Fulop is talking about, and it's talking about consolidation, school district consolidation, municipality consolidation. You know, you got like Guttenberg. You can easily roll Guttenberg into North Bergen. I said last week, East Newark, you've got a better chance of finding Atlantis than you find East Newark. You'd have to stumble into East Newark somehow. I'm not even sure where it is. They got a mayor, they got council meetings, they got cops, they got fire department. Someone's paying for that. They got schools. Yes, I agree with Fulop. You know, one of the things that disappointed me with Governor Murphy, Governor Fulop, did I just say that? I seen that sign recently. I was on the turnpike. Fulop, Governor. One of the things that disappointed me with Murphy, because he talked about that. Merges, shared services. One municipality merged, two municipalities rather, merged together. 8 years. 2. That was it. Yes, we should have shared services. We got to figure out how to get the best bang for your buck. Like even paving the street. Nobody in Hudson County has a paving crew. No one. But we're not unique to that. But like Ocean County, where I do the Tom's River Show, same thing. Nobody has a paving crew. If Jersey City's DPW had a paving crew, we could pay for the rest of the county. We could get money off the state to pave their road. But no, we'll write checks. Oh, we're going to do some paving. Let's write a check to Joe Schmo Paving for $18 million. Sure, $18 million. It's real easy to write a friggin' check with someone else's money. But we don't do that anymore. One time you did. At one time, DPW would paint things. We don't do that anymore. We're doing some park upgrades. I hate the DPW people doing park upgrades. We got a contractor out there doing it. We have to get away from that. We have to figure out, and I think Fulop's on the right avenue with this, that consolidate, shared services. Main thing we need to do is I got to get Steve for an interview, maybe Steve Sweeney. Those guys I'm pretty sure I can get. I've known them for a while. Jack Citarelli, I've had him in the studio. Somebody's got to explain to me how and when we do the deep dive. And I tell you what, it's a really high diving board because you're going to take that dive, and I hope that water isn't shallow. But we have to figure out where the F this money is going. We're right at the bat, like Jersey City. I got $165 million in salary. I got a $1 million, $2 million budget. Yeah, something wrong here. And there's a real issue when we have a 50% difference in the cost of educating a kid an hour away. That has to be looked into. For that matter, I should probably drive myself blind on Google and find out, like, each district, how much it costs to educate a kid. It's not hard. You take the school population of students by the budget. And boom, you got a number. In Jersey City, it's a very high number. It's a big number. That has to change. You know, we're a school system with a budget that's off the charts. And that's think about all the money we spend on schools. And we're talking about, we're not getting enough funding in school. Well, we're spending so much money on stuff that has nothing to do with the students and the schools. That's all friggin' salaries. Now, Fulop's talking about a corruption tax. That might be it. We might have a bunch of political flacks or lackeys or hacks or whatever you want to call them. I would normally call them hacks. They might be all in there getting paid. I don't even know they're showing up. They may be sitting at home. They're listening to me right now saying, geez, he's jeopardizing my no-show job here. I don't know. But there's a problem when I got $1 billion plus budget and my teacher salary is $65 million. Where's the rest of this budget? Now, the teachers are working directly with the kids. Where's the rest of it? Are they working directly with the kids? Or who's working? You're not working with the kids. Not for you. I'm missing like almost $900,000. Where's the money? like that old commercial. Show me the beef. Show me the beef. Where is it? That's what has to happen. You want to win the friggin' election? Fulop, Sweeney, Cheryl, say you're going to take the deep dive into school funding. Find out where the F the money is. Now, Fulop's been fighting with the Board of Education. He should have made an appointed board years ago, so the city has say and sway with the school system. We have none. They just make Fulop collect the taxes and put in a payroll tax. We actually charge people for our school system that don't live in Jersey City. They work here, but we don't live here. They don't live here. Hey, like our version of congestion pricing. We should all have congestion pricing. We should have Jersey City people at the Holland Tunnel. You're coming out, put the toll booth there, hand out. Give me money. You want congestion pricing? I'm not a big believer in congestion pricing. But those are the things we need to do. We need to take a deep dive in that. And when it comes to property taxes, it's driven by the school budgets. Some of these budgets are almost 80% of the municipality's budget. Think about that. 80% of the tax money from the municipality goes to the school. There's a problem there. I guarantee you there's a problem there. And we're all, it's like the three monkeys. You know, weevil, see no weevil, speak no weevil. They all have their eyes covered. There's see no weevil, see no weevil, see no weevil. That's what we have. And that has to change. Or forget about the affordability here. That's just not going to happen. All right, let's take another break. Now I'll come back. We'll talk about some local campaigns. You're listening to the City Show Radio here on GGR. We'll be right back.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
We're back. You're listening to City Show Radio here on GGR. Garen and I were just talking about school funding. We were talking about, salaries and there's maintenance on those buildings. Yeah. But don't we have DPWs? Every city has a DPW. They can do the maintenance on those schools. You're paying twice. You're paying the maintenance for the guys who's maintaining the school, and then you're paying the DPW people. You're paying a lot. Then you got a county DPW. There's a lot of DPWs. There's a lot of maintenance guys. You're paying for them. You're paying for all three. You're paying for the school maintenance guy, the DPW maintenance guy, and the county maintenance guy. They're smiling. Now you're not smiling. They're smiling. All right, let's go. Let's get into here. We got some debate dares. But I think next Thursday we're doing a debate for the 32nd District. Or I know it's 4 o'clock. I'm producing it. I didn't book it. We'll see how that goes. Debate dares. Jimmy Davis, the mayor of mayor of Bayonne, is challenged the Hudson County Sheriff, Frank Solari, to 2 debates. Twice he challenged him, and both times the Hudson County Sheriff turned him down. Solari keeps bringing up some lawsuits that have been paid by Bayonne to ex-employees. One of his lawsuits was before Jimmy even became mayor of Bayonne during the previous administration. And every one of these cases so far, Jimmy Davis himself is not part of the cases. So I'm not sure what the sheriff is looking for here. He's not part of the cases. There's another case pending with a woman that I know that is probably somewhere along the line will probably host a radio show here on GGR, Melissa Matthews. But that still has to go through the courts. And Frank, as a sheriff of Hudson County, knows nobody's going to say anything about any cases that may still go through the courts. For that matter, one of those cases that Jimmy Davis is not part of, the woman received, I think it was $500,000 award judgment, and that was immediately vacated by a judge, so that's got to be appealed. So there isn't a lot that Jimmy can talk about because that case is going to go be appealed. So he's certainly not going to talk about that. And the other case, he wasn't even there. He wasn't the mayor back then. And the most recent one with Melissa Matthews is going to go through the court systems eventually. And of course, he's not going to make any comment on any cases that are going through the court system. Um, Frank should actually, the sheriff should sit. I'm happy to do the debate. It's an easy one. It's only two. We could drag a couple podiums in there. Right? I'm looking at a podium right over there. Get another one from the hall. Boom, we're ready. We will be happy to do the debate anytime these guys want to do it. Now, it's not like we're putting 6 podiums together like we need next Thursday. It's 2. And I tell you, I'll give Jimmy Davis credit. He had never turned down a debate before. He's debated himself already, where other candidates wouldn't show up. I remember the race for mayor last time. Sharon Nardowski didn't want to come to the studio, and we had it set. Jimmy Davis showed up, and him and Al Sullivan had a nice hour-long conversation about what's going on in Bayonne. And guess who won the election? Jimmy Davis. He spoke for an hour. I think of all the races here in Hudson County, we should have the one for the debate. Now, and the sheriff knows Jimmy's not going to he can't make comments on any of these cases. 2 of them said the appeal is going to happen, and the one with Matthews is going to work its way through the courts. It's already been filed. And the other case has nothing to do with Jimmy Davis. So I'm here to produce it. I'm happy to help. I am very happy to help. I will be more than willing to put 2 podiums over there, some lights, camera action, broadcasted live. I am here. Frank, Jimmy, I'm ready to help you. Now, I guess you guys seen the debate the other night. It was 2.5 hours long. Now, next time, any BS to me about the length of any of his interviews, I say you just did 2.5 hours with bad lighting on you. Now, I was trying to watch it live. Maybe I had the problem, but it kept like freezing up. But after the show, they fixed that. 2.5. Here's the problem. When I think they had like 5 moderators, everybody's got to have time to talk. So I got the candidates. I got all the governor's candidates. One, I think it was 5 of them. But one didn't make it because they didn't have enough money. I guess you had to pay your way in. We didn't have money for tolls. I don't know. The Spiller guy, who I thought got like $30 million from the teachers union. 2.5 hour debate. That's a long time. And I can't. Next time Phillips complains about anything about being in the studio, say we just did 2.5 hours. That's insane. I liked how Steve Fulop came across. Barack and Gottheimer. Oh, they must have some undercurrent between those two. For that matter, the debate before that, I thought Barack was kind of handy with their Gottheimer. They kept touching Gottheimer all the time. And I think Gottheimer just got sick of that. So these guys kept going out at each other. I tell you, who stood up head and shoulders to me was Cheryl, because she really didn't say anything. You know, Fulop was laying out all these things. He lays out his plan as he always does. He can tell you exactly what he does. And Cheryl was pretty much cliches, and we'll look into this and probably become the governor. Those two, I think, stood out in my mind because Fulop was really precedent, and Cheryl did everything but zip up that helicopter jacket of hers and fly away. And Sweeney, I thought, did all right too, but he's almost looking out of place with all the younger guys there, and with all the Biden issues that going on. You start looking at the old guy there and say, we want an old guy. And I like Steve Sweeney. I think Steve Sweeney should be in government somewhere representing the people. But I think the window closed on Steve Sweeney. Good guy, good legislator. Would he make a good governor? I believe he would. Will he get there? I don't think so. I think this comes down to Fulop and Cheryl. And the last poll we've seen at Cheryl, again, poll numbers, they're hard to digest and really see through. You don't know what the questions were, but it looks like the last polls had a huge lead for Mikey Sherrill. But, I remember when Murphy ran against Citarelli the last time around. Murphy had a huge lead against Citarelli. It was like 20, 25%. And when the election eventually happened, he squeaked by there like 3%, 4%. And the same thing with Trump. When they're doing polls on Trump polled poorly. Like I would tell everybody, if Trump stayed within 2 percentage points of Harris, he was going to win. And sure enough, he did. So I'm not 100% sure. Like my old buddy Lou Manzo, if polls were truthful, Louis would be a 3-time mayor. We always did well, but then the election happened. If we just elected on polls, it would be a different thing. But you can see that on NJ Globe. You can watch it again, 2.5 hours. You can fast forward. Actually, there was it was a 6-hour whole deal. There was a pregame, there was a postgame, and you had the governors, the governor candidates. Production wise, it wasn't bad. You could have done a little quicker on the switching of cameras. There was a lot of disembodied voices. A few times people's mics weren't on. Somebody wasn't paying attention. But you can watch it on NJ Globe. I think there's one tonight with the Republicans. It's only two. It's going to be Spadia. Spadia is going to have to go in for the kill. Spadia is going to have to come in there looking like something from the Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? He had to have swords in each hand and take out Citarelli. He goes, "This is it. This is it, Bill." And I don't think you go back to the radio station, Bill. Eric Scott's doing a good job in the morning. I don't think there's any room at the inn. You got GGR. You got GGR. You're welcome here. We can help you out. I would like to do a morning show. Wait a couple hours. We're going to do one of my game plans is during the summer when we go on a hiatus, promoting tourism in Jersey. We've been filming on the boardwalk for a long, long time. And we'll be doing it this year on the boardwalk. I'll be doing a radio on there. I'd like to do something on Thursday, Friday, Saturday for a couple hours in the morning, just show what's going on at Seaside and the Jersey Shore. So if you're coming down, I want to make sure you know what the weather is, you know what the deal is on the boardwalk, what the discounts are, and all the good stuff. So hopefully we start that somewhere in July, excuse me. Let's see. New Jersey widening, the bridge project. Now again, full in this debate. It talks about he doesn't want to widen the project, doesn't want to spend the $10 billion. He wants to take the $10 billion and put it towards mass transit. Here's the problem. It isn't tax dollars. New Jersey Turnpike Authority, who runs the Turnpike and the Parkway, are going to bond for that project. And they're going to pay the bonds off with tolls. Now, I assume Governor Fulop is thinking, well, I'll just tell the New Jersey Turnpike Authority to bond for the $10 billion and give me the money. That ain't going to happen. Why? All the candidates and all these critics for the same deal. They're talking about we want to take this money and put it into a mass transit. No, it's not tax dollars. And the other fallacy, and we've battling with this guy on Twitter. Eventually, he's seen the light. They're talking about, well, all this traffic's going to come into the Holland Tunnel, and the tunnel's only 2 lanes. Well, all the traffic isn't going to Jersey City. There's a whole bridge going over to Bayonne. They're widening the turnpike going north and south. It's not just a widening project to Jersey City, where we just flood the Jersey City with cars. That's not it. It's going north. It's going south. It's widening. You got to get some more lanes into the ports. Even with the tariffs, the ports are all backed up. When I'm on the turnpike, I got to stay off the truck side, and I drive on the truck side. I stay off the truck side because it's all backed up. You need to widen the turnpike. You need to put a new bridge. The Newark Bay Bridge going into Bayonne. Oh, that baby. I'm surprised that thing hasn't fallen over. These things need to be done. Commerce has to move forward. We have to move forward. And again, they're not running all the traffic into the Holland Tunnel. And now you got the congestion pricing. That's supposedly that cut down the tunnel traffic and the bridge. I can't tell that by the morning radio when they say the bridge, the George Washington Bridge is 45 minutes. Holland Tunnel is 35 minutes. Doesn't seem to be working, at least to me. All right, I am out of show. You be good. You be safe.